Been lucky enough to have some really good jobs so far in football, but I can honestly say I've never been so motivated to do well. You know, I've got a feeling at the moment inside of me that I just haven't had before. You know, and I think that's good. You know, and the first game, the song before this game, and it's like, you know, my dad was sitting there and all that sort of stuff. It meant a lot. So. So I just want to look forward, and we've got to think a bit short term, because that's our job, just to get ready for the next game and to get the group of players in the right place and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, if we can get it right here, built on that and built on the amount of people that come and watch and the interest and things like that, you know, this is, even tonight, you know, I don't know how far and wide you've spread out, but you don't get this many supporters groups, you know, at this level. So, we need to thrive on what this football club stands for and live up to it at the same time. But embracing, to answer your question, embracing everything that it stands for. For me, it's an absolute obligation that people supporting their club, our club up and down the country, you know, win, lose or draw, and we're always hoping to win more than anything else. You know, there'll always be an appreciation from myself, and I'll always talk about supporters to the players, because in the end, you know, it doesn't cost anything to be humble. It doesn't cost anything to work hard. It doesn't cost anything to show respect. So, you know, that's what as much as we want to try and build an identity and the team to play a certain way and all that sort of stuff, I also want us to live to real core values of what it takes to be a real football club, which I know this is, and that, you know, that for me is a non-negotiable and an obligation of mine to lead. I've said to the players, like, after the Barnsley game, I said, I've done one home game, one away game, lads, and you know this better than me. I said, but we got an opportunity to get like a massive group of supporters, like getting us over the line. Because it's a tough league, like really tough league, and there's no obligation, there's no entitlement in this league. It's hard, you know. There is no easy games, and especially because everybody wants to come here and win, because, you know, you'll remember it, and so, you know, we've got that as well. But I just think that I'm seeing it. First of all, it is authentic. I want to show some appreciation to the supporters because of the question that was asked before about travelling, you know, length and breadth and money and all that sort of stuff. And so, but I just think the more together that we can be, it's got to be good, you know, because we can all give each other good times. But I'm also thinking, like, it is like that, this league, you know, and it's going to be like that before we get it where I want it to be. So when we're down that, when we are on one of those dips, and I hope they're not big dips, who knows, but I hope they're not, then we're going to need you, you know, and you're going to need us as well. So if we can be together, then, you know, we might pull each other back on the up. I know Gary Brazil through previous jobs. I know Warren Joyce, who's the under-18s coach, through previous jobs. I know who Andy Reid is through his playing career, mainly here, and we've struck up a good relationship. So you're right. There's a genuine interest from me in youth football academies football. I've been and watched a lot of the teams train, partly because I really enjoy it, you know, and you can always pick up little ideas. A lot of good work goes on in academies now, but I love, you know, sometimes I think I wish I could go back there. It was a simple life, you know, coaching under 11s and 12s, but it's something I'm genuinely interested in. Where I park my car is right by the Dome, and there's no way I'm getting in my car without watching the kids train for a bit. You know, it's just the way I am. And the younger the better, you know, sometimes. But we've had all, I don't know if it's the better 23s, a lot of the better ones are away on international duty at the moment, but the ones that I've asked Reedy to bring, some guys were watching training today, it was full of, not full, but there was a good core of 23s players in. I believe a thriving championship team has young players in it. You know, if you look at the teams that have, or not every team, but as a rule of thumb, teams that have done well in the championship and I mean got promoted have had like homegrown players in there that just running a bit more with that youthful enthusiasm of maybe Norwich as an example with the Cantwell and Max Aarons and things like that, as well as the Pukki and the Bundia and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I want homegrown young players in the squad. To think that there's a Steve Cooper way, like, oh, that's an ego thing, that, you know, and that annoys me, because it's like, that means it's just about the coach. And okay, I have to lead and I have to come up with the ideas and things like that, but you need everybody bought in and everybody, so it becomes our way, the club's way, the Forest way, wherever we want to call it. I think success is both of what you're saying. I think there's got to be a set of principles that you stick to, that you really believe in, that whoever you're playing, whether you're playing bottom of the league or top of the league, or biggest budget or lowest budget, is like, this is how Forest play, and we're going to aim for this every single game that we play, and we'll be doing that. We also got to respect the opponent. So, for example, Birmingham on the weekend, it would be foolish not to go into Birmingham and not talk about set pieces, because I'm sure most of you guys watched the game if you weren't there or on streaming or whatever. Every time ball goes out of play, in our defensive half is coming in the box from a throw, and they're good at it. So, but I still wanted, so we had to deal with that, but I still want the team to build from the back, play forward, be exciting, get good numbers up the pitch, get good attack, create real opportunities to score. So there's a set of principles that we will work on every single day, that this is our way, lads, this is how we play. But then you sort of tweak things for what's coming, you know, and hopefully it's the our way that is the biggest contributor. But, you know, respect the opponent and see what they bring and where you can hurt them, and that for me is how you put a plan together to go and win games. What I don't like, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm quite happy to go on the record and say, it's like chopping and changing from one game to the next, because I don't think you become good at anything then, you know. And I think we've got a good enough set of players, and we're a big enough club to go where I want us to get us to a place to go, like, wherever we go, we're bringing our game and we're going to win, you know. And we won't win every game, but we're going to try. I'm a massive believer in building self-belief in people, and people feeling like really good about themselves and that they can do things. Because I just think that's how you get the best out of people. I'm more interested in showing people a bit of love and support rather than criticise them. Doesn't mean you can't be challenging, doesn't mean you can't be demanding. You know, I think that's a high performing culture, is when you're challenging people but supporting them at the same time. I'm very clear on my leadership style and what I think a good culture looks like. And I think if you do that, you can get the best out of people, and that's what I'm aiming to do. And I just hope it's enough. You know, I really, really hope it's enough. And going back to the question before about philosophy and playing style, you know, when I come out with the last job, because of my work with the FA in the past, and I do quite a bit, sometimes coach education, and you know, and I've had a lot of coaches reach out and say, like, having 2 years now in first team football, I've been before that a youth team coach. What's your biggest takeout? And before, I probably would have been like, make sure you're clear on your playing style and coach, and all that's really, really important. But it's about culture. It's about culture and togetherness and belonging, you know, understanding who you work for and what it represents, and going for it, you know, and committing to it, you know, and that's what we're going to do. And I really hope it's enough. There's no guarantees, you know that. You've seen a lot of stuff that's gone like that, you know, and but that's what I'm going to go in. And I keep saying it, but I just really hope it's enough, you know, because I've bought in as well to the ownership, Mr. Marinakis, to Dane, about like what they have said to me, you know, and I've asked them to buy into me as well when you're thinking about you want to go for it. So now's the time to go.